Good afternoon, folks. It is Friday afternoon and I've had a package arrive. So, I thought I'd open it up and see if these are the postcards that I ordered in my last vlog. Look at that, and it's got a glossy finish, which I'm not such a huge fan of, but that's alright. The paper stock isn't as heavy as the ones I've ordered in the past from Moo Cards, so the ones that I'm going to be selling on my website are going to be a bit less bendy. So as you can see, the foil doesn't look like foils as much just because it's printed, but I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, it still kind of looks like a vintage book cover. I've got from Harry Potter textbook series down at the bottom there. The ones that I'm selling won't have that, and they will not be blank on the back. They'll have like a postcard thing on the back. I don't think these ones came out quite as well as the Catherine Mansfield ones, but just because it looks a little bit on the dark side, but that's okay. All three of them there, and yeah, so next will be for me to actually start sending these out to people who might care. And these were ordered through Vistaprint. This great big package arrived this morning, and I think this will be the postcards and the stickers that I ordered. So these are from Moo Cards. They allow you to do lots of different designs within a pack. So that does make them a bit more expensive. It's worth it if you've got lots of designs, basically. These look like the stickers, just my logo, website, and then yeah, books, design, illustration. And then there's a little sticker book here, and they've got more designs in, yeah, with just the logo. So they're nice little things to put on either postcards or on the outside of packaging, things like that. So that's what those are for. And then they've sent me a whole lot of little free promotional cards. You can see there's quite a few in there, different boxes. So there we are. We've got Hogwarts A History, and what I'll do is just flip through them quickly so you can see how they look in print. The ones that I got from Vistaprint look like that. So they're actually pretty similar in terms of the way they've been printed. Obviously I put my details on the back there, and if that one's blank, well, that's got details. But yeah, the other thing is the Moo Cards are a bit thicker. So if we look at that, they're not so bendy, whereas these are much more flexible. I've changed the colour on this one, and I actually much prefer it with that contrast between the gold and the background. And I'll just show you the backs of these as well. They look like this, and it says front from Harry Potter textbook series 2017, and then it's got my wee logo there and my website. You notice I haven't done all 31. That's because Moo only allow 25 designs, and there were a few in there that I didn't like quite so much as the others. So these are my favourites, and they fit quite nicely into those 5 different packs. The first 5 there are sort of first year textbook type things, and then we've got magical flora and fauna in those ones. This lot are slightly miscellaneous, but I'm calling them books and broomsticks, I think. Then we've got biographies, which are all the Gilderoy Lockhart ones, plus the Dumbledore cover. Then, yeah, the sort of defensive magical ones. So my next job is to divide these all up into groups of 5, because that's probably how I'll be selling them. I might sell them in a bundle like this, and let me know if you're interested in buying a set of all of them. The only thing to note with that is that it will obviously be more expensive, but the postage to the rest of the world from here will be quite expensive as well. Whereas if you just have 5 of these, that's not actually particularly thick, and that can go as a letter. So it's not going to be nearly as expensive to send across the planet. But yeah, do let me know, because I will find out how much it will actually cost. But that'll have to go as a parcel if it's all of them. And I suppose you could frame them, or you could use them as art on a wall, just kind of do a mosaic of them. That's something I've done in the past. Hi folks, it's a couple of days since I last checked in, and I was showing you some of the postcards. Unfortunately, the postcards, some of the other boxes that I opened up later had a bit of damage on the corners. So I've actually got in touch with customer support there, and they are sending me some new ones, and Moo cards are very good like that. Their customer support is fantastic. The only downside with that obviously is I have to now wait for the other 150 cards to arrive before I can divide them up into their categories to sell. But in the meantime, I haven't had anything else arrive apart from, well, I got some samples made up, ones that I'm going to have as prints. And this is the paper. It's a cold press paper. And this is giclée printing, which means that it's a very high quality art print. This is the sort of paper that you would use for watercolor. And it's very nice, and as you can see, the print quality is rather beautiful there, even with just the little thumbnail versions. I've been experimenting with the gold foil, which has been interesting. What I found is that the glue that I'm using to stick the foil down kind of just seeps straight into this paper because it is designed for watercolors. So I've had to sort of prime it with, actually I just used a metallic Sharpie pen to go over it to start with, and that seems to stop the glue seeping into the paper. That means that the foil will actually stick like that, whereas some of my other explorations didn't work quite so well, and it's not working very well on the very fine detail. But like I said, the ones even without foil do look really good on this paper, and I'm super happy with that. So I'm more than happy to sell prints without the foil as well, because I think that they look great. Anyway, I shall check back in later once I have gone to the printers and got back from the printers with the prints. This is very exciting. And then it'll be a case of cutting them up and doing the foiling, and we're nearly there. I've ordered packaging materials as well, and figured out mostly what the postage is going to cost and how I can keep the postage to a minimum, because obviously most of my orders will be for overseas, and I'm here in New Zealand, which is just ridiculously beautiful, as you can see, but yeah, a long way from anywhere. These should be able to be posted as letters of some sort and some size, so that does keep the cost down. The other thing that I'm working on, and if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen this on my Instagram stories, is some covers for his dark materials. And this is just for my portfolio. It's not client work, unfortunately, but I love these books so much, and I thought it would be a great portfolio piece, especially with the Book of Dust coming out. I'm doing a workshop online at the moment on typography and hand lettering. I'm learning a huge amount from that, and the trouble is, whenever I do a new section of that course, I then look back at what I'm doing and go, oh, okay, I need to look at my work and redo it. And yeah, it's making me super critical, but that is also a really good thing. With this, because I've been working in pencil, I've just been able to erase and redo and sort of build up the lines here. So I'm much happier with how this is looking now, and yeah, hopefully this will be inked before too long if I'm brave enough, because this one obviously I've inked and I can see so many problems with it. It's mostly the northern and the lights bit that I would like to tweak a bit. Last time we spoke, I was just about to go out to the printers to pick up these prints, but unfortunately then I got a phone call from them to say that they were missing a part. So it's now Monday morning, and hopefully they will have it done by, what's the time now? It's 10 o'clock now. Yeah, so hopefully they'll give you a phone call soon to say that the part is back in and the prints are go, and I can go and collect them and then show them to you. In the meantime, here is the progress on these ones here. I got brave enough to actually ink them. They're starting to sort of match up a bit more now. They're here. So they got them all printed. I've just been trying to flatten these out a bit by having them under some larger books. But yeah, these are the smaller ones, and I think they're looking pretty good. I'm so happy with the way that the gold foil is looking on here. You can see the detail there. Oh, it looks great. I'm so happy with this paper and the print quality. I'll show you the A4 ones as well. These are the A5 ones. And over here, I put these in plastic envelopes, ready to be sent out, and just to keep them nice and protected from the oils from your hands and things like that. So yeah, all the different designs here. In terms of the gold foil or the silver foil, I think that these look good enough to, well, definitely to sell most of them like this, but I might do the odd one in a sort of premium way, because like I've said before, it's going to take such a long time, particularly on a design like this, to go over all of that with foil. But something like this one I think might benefit from having a foil on it. Lots of other things have arrived as well, such as these rigid envelopes. Figuring out how I can send them as letters. So the postcards, if I sell them in sets of 5, they will fit within the allowed dimensions and weight of a letter. Likewise with these ones here, they will fit into a slightly larger letter size. And then these count as being oversized letters. Probably what I'll do is absorb the postage prices within the cost of the prints themselves. So that will mean the prints will be a bit more expensive, but because otherwise setting it up so that it'll calculate the shipping is quite complicated, because it's set up for the US postal system, and obviously I'm not in the US, so that makes it a little more complicated, and it's going to be easier if it's just postage and packaging included within the print. I should also say that because of copyright, some of these aren't available as prints, and also I've taken off some of the names on the ones that are available as prints, so they're not exactly as you would have seen them on, say, Instagram, or as they are on the postcards. But yeah, I don't want to get in trouble over any of this, so that is why. This is my little drawer here where I'm storing the prints at the moment, and I just wanted to show how great the gold foil effect came out just by printing with this giclée ink. So this is this cold press paper, and basically giclée printing means that it's archival quality, so this should last without fading for a good couple hundred years. And yeah, that's not actually foil, that's just printed, and it looks like foil. I'm so pleased with how it's come out. And this is across the board, all of them just look fantastic. Obviously they're in these plastic sleeves here at the moment, but yeah, couldn't be happier with that. So I've done some experiments with the gold foiling, and actually foiling by hand, which I will show you over here. And as you can see, this was my experiment for doing an entire print in this foiling. And this is using a glue pen and then sticking the foil over the top. But as you can see, it is pretty accurate, but if you put too much glue on, then it kind of spreads out a bit like that, and it just looks really quite tacky. And I could go back over this and sort of fill in some of these little gaps here, and you know, places where the glue hasn't quite gone down properly. But places like this, so you can see where I've brushed over it to try and remove the foil, it's got that kind of sheen, which is getting in the way of the actual printed bit. And I think it's just going to end up damaging the print itself. So sadly, as sort of beautiful and vibrant as that foil is, it's not going to be a viable option. And this took me about 4 hours to do. And as you can see, it's nowhere near finished. So sadly, that's not going to be a happening thing. But like I've said, the foil effect came out so well on these that I'm more than happy to sell them as they are. I think they look fantastic. They're not going to fade. They are a really high quality product, so I'm really happy with that. So as you can see, I am pretty much ready to go with the shop. In fact, I have a date that it is going to be launched, and that is Monday the 18th of September. It'll be 7 p.m. UK time, and Eastern Standard Time, I think it's 4 p.m, which means it's actually Tuesday the following day here, but it's Tuesday morning, 8 a.m, so that means that I can be around and answering any questions and making sure that everything is running as it needs to be. But anyway, that's all go, and yeah, I've just been packaging up prints and putting them all together, and I'm really happy with how they're looking. And I wouldn't be selling something unless I was really pleased with how it looked. The fabric hasn't arrived yet, so the tote bags are going to be an addition a little bit later on. But yeah, it's just going to be the prints and the postcards. So that's prints in A5 and A4, and then the sets of 5 postcards and the sets of 25 postcards. Anyway, that's it for this vlog. This has been filmed over the course of a couple of weeks now, just because, you know, things have been arriving at different times. But yeah, hopefully you found this interesting. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.